Now, we talked about magnesium as a medium for relaxing the muscles and the nerves of the body. Now we're going to talk about the detoxification process. Because one of the best ways to detox our bodies, which must happen on a daily basis anyway, is to first of all rub the magnesium oil or gel into the body through the skin as best, as we've mentioned. Topically and transdermally, it's much faster absorbed into the cells. And that's going to set up what's called ATP, or cellular energy, a lot of it. We create enough usually for our bodies if we're healthy. When we get magnesium deficient, our cells are constantly having to be energized just to detoxify the calcium and the toxin build up all the time. So with magnesium onto the cells, we're setting up a lot more cellular energy, which is great. It starts to release the toxins out of the cells. And the way to get them out of the body after that, within half an hour is best, of having rubbing magnesium oil or gel into our bodies, is to either have a clay detox bath, which we're going to talk about here, or a far infrared ray sauna, and sweat using our biggest organ, our skin, to pull or release the toxins back out through the body. Just before we do that, we'll just mention that the other way to absorb magnesium, absorbing it into the body, is through the bath, by putting in the bath flakes into a warm bath, just comfortably warm, not too hot, just comfortably warm, 20-minute soak or even a foot soak every night through the soles of your feet. You will sleep like a baby. It'll be soaked into your cells, and it's often an easier way for a lot of people to start rather than having to massage and rub it into the skin. But you can do both. I always have at least one magnesium bath a week, and I have one detox bath every fortnight. And with this, these come in a kit. It's a box like this, and what it is, there's enough magnetic clay powder. It comes from LL's Magnetic Clay in California. It's about the purest clay you can use for this purpose, and healing clays have been used for thousands of years by all the indigenous tribes, by everybody that's come before us. You eat it, eat dirt. We have one called edible earth, which is also a great thing to have a teaspoon with a warm glass of water in the mornings. But this is one you don't eat, this is one you put into the bath. It's a calcium bentonite clay, and it expands. It's got a magnetic component to it, so that it pulls, the heavy metals get attracted to it and pulled out through the skin. So it comes in a kit. There's about 8 baths in each box that you buy, and each one comes with a range of ingredients. First of all, you get a little information kit, fully explanational. Tells for kids, for adults, how much to have, how long to have it, how strong to have it, and all those things. Very good. Been well tested over 15 years. You also get a little sachet. Different sachets of herbs and botanicals are added to the clay powder before you start. And these are enhancing qualities for the ability of the clay to pull the toxins out of the skin. This one's called mercury, or clear out, and they're different forms. If you have, say, know you've got mercury toxicity, then you ask for the mercury detox clay kit. You get a sachet like this, and you tear this out and you tip this into the clay powder, which will show you all of that. Clay powder. So this is the clay powder, the whole bit of it. You can see that in there. There we go, we've got 2.5 kilos of wonderful clay powder. And that's all been blended. We've already pre-mixed this with that sachet of herbs and botanicals, and you're getting the clay powder in there. Now, that is about as pure clay powder as you can get. Even a lot of the ones from Australia and other continents have a higher content of aluminium, which is very hard to avoid that. It's a natural part of just about all the soils. But this has been tested and known to be the lowest in any of those sorts of other metals. So it is, again, like the ancient minerals, magnesium, but the purest that you can buy on the market. So with this, it also comes with something which I don't worry about too much. They give you in the kit a bit of gauze and a plug to put into your bath. It's not necessary unless you've got extremely narrow pipes and you're going to use a very strong bath, which again isn't recommended. Even people who are more toxic should generally start with just a very mild detoxification and build up to a stronger one. Stronger one is maybe using 2 cups of the clay powder instead of just what we recommend of using 1 cup of the clay powder. And the bath needs to be pretty hot. You've got to sweat. You've got to be able to withstand, like a sauna, staying for half an hour in a sweating environment, so you're going to be pulling all the toxins out through the skin. Bath needs to be like this if you've got one. We have them here at the Buderim Magnesium House, where people have a good half-hour soak after the magnesium's been rubbed in. They come in here for a half-hour soak. Quite hot, so the water's quite steamy, around about 40-42 degrees. And even keep a bit of hot water left over to top it up when you're finished or when you're halfway through, so you can keep the water hot. Lying right down right about to the neckline. You don't let it go into your ears or your face, but just down to your neck is good. Let the whole body submerge into all of that. Clay, of course, itself can be mixed with warm water, and you could even with magnesium too. You can spray some magnesium oil into that and make up a paste, and that can be used as a poultice on the skin. You can put that onto your face, onto the arm. You can bind that around with a poultice, and you can put that out into the sun to help draw the toxins out through the clay. When it's heated, will pull the toxins out through the skin. So anything you've got on your skin, you'll find your skin comes out remarkably fresh and clear and clean after you use this process for a while. So if you get a mark like I did on the top of my head while I was lying in the bath, I got a bit of the clay, and then I just simply massage that into that area and let that lie in there while I was lying in the bath. The other thing we have in here is, of course, pH testing tape kit. Why? Well, because our bodies can't detox if they're acid, and unfortunately most of us have a fairly acidic diet, and this just comes about through a lot of processed food, meat, coffees and wine and those sorts of things, which we all love. Unfortunately, if we're not balanced, we get too acidic. Our blood needs to keep around about 7.1 or 2 to keep ourselves alive. So it draws all the alkalinity from the cells it needs to make sure our blood is kept at that level. So we can find that our cells can get quite acid down around 6. If that's the case, they won't really detox. You're basically wasting your time, which is what they say in the book here. So the pH tape is to test your saliva or the urine or both in the morning first thing before you've had anything. Do it over a few days to get an average. If you find you're down below 6.5, you need to take baking soda. Sodium bicarbonate. It's about the most alkaline thing on the planet, and that's wonderful for your cells to alkalize the body. In fact, later we'll show you how to mix it with magnesium in a drink. We actually put a couple of tablespoons of this as well into the bath because it's very alkalizing for the skin, for the water. It also neutralizes any chlorine that you might have in the water. So it's a very good product to have around, pure sodium bicarbonate or baking soda. But other things you can use to alkalize just a very alkaline diet. Lots of green vegetables, of course, carrot and celery juices and those sorts of things as well. But get the pH up close to 7 if you can before you go into this detox regime, and have a bath about once every week or so. Then after you've mixed all this powder through, use a little glove like I'm using now. You would have cut this little sachet open. You would have tipped all of that contents into the powder. You would have pre-mixed that thoroughly through the powder, and then you're going to be taking probably a good cup of this. This isn't quite a cupful in this measure, but I'm just showing roughly what you would do. I'm just going to sprinkle it over the water. I'm going to put a couple of those, that sort of size, about 2 of those would be sufficient for a bath. If you actually do it when you're filling the bath with pure hot water, you'll find that you don't need to do any more mixing. But if you do need to mix it, best thing, it'll whiz. It'll whisk. Just helps the clay get mixed in, because otherwise it just binds and it clumps. It does expand as the water gets warm. The clay will expand, so it comes out about 2 or 3 times the volume of what you put in there. But as you mix it all up, some will sink to the bottom. You just stir that up. You give it a bit more of a thorough mix that I'm doing there now. So a good whisk up with hot water, and then you're set to go. Put some music on, relax, lie back in the bath, give yourself a good half an hour soak, keep the water hot, have a glass of water by the side of the table there, so you've got something to drink. Pop some of the clay that you find on the bottom onto your face, onto your head, onto your hair, Anywhere that you want to put that, especially if you've got any marks on, blemishes on the skin, rub that in, hold it on there, keep it warm with a bit of warm water or a little face washer just to keep it there like that. And then lie in there and relax for about 20 minutes, half an hour. If you can do half an hour, excellent. And then you're done. So when you finish, you just need to rinse yourself off, because the bath, don't be alarmed if it goes black. It may, toxins coming out through your skin can turn this grey, muddy colour into quite a black colour. And that's fine. It just means that when you finish, you need to shower, rinse yourself off thoroughly as you let the water out. So it's best to do this in a combination shower bath if you've got one or have one nearby, where you can quickly rinse yourself off. It will all just flush away at the ends. There's no need to worry about blocking the drains. If you are, use the gauze and the plug. I've never found that it's blocked. With us, we've had dozens and dozens here in Buderim and it's never blocked up. If you're only using 1 to 1.5 cups of the clay powder per bath. So there you have it, about 8 baths you'll get out of a kit, and I'd recommend having one every fortnight or so. After you're finished, have a lot of electrolytes, because it will pull some of the good metals out of the body as well that we need, minerals out of the body, so you will need to replenish good electrolytes, drink plenty of water. Best to have the hot bath late afternoon so you can relax. Don't have any plans for that evening. Just relax, drink plenty of water, replenish, rehydrate, and yeah, I think you'll feel wonderful the next day.